Good morning. A possible motive. A fellow lab worker tells NBC News accused murderer Ray Clark was a control freak whose last message to Annie Lay was about dirty animal cages. This morning, the latest on the case, and two of Clark's lifelong friends speak out. Will he release them? Iran's president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, speaks out about those 3 U.S. hikers detained there since July. This morning, Ann is live in Tehran with her exclusive interview. And what can $1 billion buy you? Check it out. It's what some are calling the 8th wonder of the world. We're live at the new Cowboy Stadium today, Friday, September 18th, 2009.
From NBC News, this is a special edition of Today at Cowboy Stadium with Matt Lauer, live from Arlington, Texas, and Meredith Vieira, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And good morning and welcome to a special split edition of Today on a Friday morning. I'm Matt Lauer from the new home of the Dallas Cowboys. Meredith Vieira is holding down the fort in New York, and trust me, Meredith, this place puts the big in the big D. This stadium is an engineering marvel, and it boasts some mind-boggling numbers, Meredith. How do these sound? 20,000 tons of steel, 3 million square feet of space. It can hold more than 100,000 fans, and of course, a price tag of $1.12 billion. That's a lot of jack, Meredith.
That sure is. And what a big TV set you've got there. You talk about a big head, Lauer.
Yeah, it's a little scary, isn't it? It is the centerpiece of Cowboy Stadium. It's the largest high-definition video wall in the entire world. To give you a sense of just how big it is, you probably have one of those 52-inch television sets at home, a flat-screen TV. You could take 2,000 of those to fill one side of this HD monitor. 2,000 on each side. And the screen weighs as much as a 747 jet. And if you notice, right under that video display, I hope that thing's secure, Al Roker has made his way to Cowboy Stadium as well. Al, nice view.
Yeah, it's really amazing up here. We're just about 10 feet. This thing's suspended 90 feet from the floor, so I'm about 10 feet underneath it. And Jim, we are safe, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jim says we're safe.
All right, hang in there, Al.
No, I
pun
got no
intended.
choice.
Yeah, I know, no pun intended. Meredith, the display is just one of the many first-class amenities that fans will get a chance to enjoy when the Cowboys christen this building against the New York Giants, by the way, Sunday night right here on NBC. We're going to show you all around throughout the morning and talk to the man who built it all, Jerry Jones. But for now, back to you in New York.
Thanks, Matt. We're going to check in with you in just a little bit. But we're going to begin with the latest on that arrest of Ray Clark for the murder of Yale graduate student Annie Lay. NBC's Jeff Rawson is at the Yale campus this morning. Jeff, good morning to you.
Meredith, good morning to you. It is the big question right now. If Ray Clark did it, what was his motive? This morning, sources close to the case tell NBC News it may all come down to a fight over mice. Just one day after the dramatic arrest of Ray Clark at a Connecticut motel, we're learning more about the man charged with murder. He worked in the basement of the Yale Research Lab, assisting with animal experiments, alongside the victim, Yale grad student Annie Lay. In an email to NBC News, a lab co-worker with ties to the case.
Go back over to Matt at Cowboy Stadium.
All right, Natalie, thank you very much. Yeah, a good lesson for Chuck, who, as you saw before, Al has come to Texas as well. Al, this video monitor is scary. A second ago, I turned around to look at you. Up on the monitor, I saw a huge picture, what I thought was the shiny dome of the stadium. It was the back of my head.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you know, they can see it from the space shuttle.
The back of my head or the stadium?
Well, both, when the roof is retracted. Anyway, thanks a lot, Matt. I got Jim here joining me. Hi, Jim. How you doing? I want to just get us a little closer to the ground here, as we are just about 90 feet above the ground here at Cowboy Stadium. An amazing sight. And the good thing, they've got a retractable roof, because it has been raining here in the south for the last few days, and it's going to continue over the weekend. This low pressure will not move. That's because the jet stream is way up to the north, and as that jet stream stays up there, there's nothing to push this low pressure out, and so the rain continues to fall. How much rain? Well, from Texas all the way to the southeast, we're talking some areas picking up to 3 to 5 inches of of rain before this is all over. It will eventually start to work its way to the north, but it's going to take some time. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
We got a case.
And that's your latest weather. Matt, this place has its own atmosphere, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing, Al. Thank you very much. You know, most people around the country probably don't even know the name of the owner of their NFL team. Here in Dallas, everybody knows Jerry Jones. He bought this team back in 1989 for about $140 million. In the time since then, he's become the face of the team and the architect of the team. And in many ways, the new Cowboys Stadium is his crowning achievement. Jerry, good to see you. Good morning.
Great to be with you, man.
You've been dreaming about this place since the mid-1990s. And so as we sit here on a Friday morning, a couple of days away from the christening of this stadium on Sunday night, how are you feeling?
Well, first of all, I'm reminded only 7% of our NFL fans have ever been in an NFL stadium.
Right.
And so what this stadium is about is certainly about the fans that are here, but it's also about perception. Probably could have built this stadium for about 2/3 of what we spent, but how it's perceived, how you talk about it, how Al Michaels talks about it, all of that was very meaningful to
Well,
us.
I know, and you and the team of architects did an enormous amount of research in preparing to build this place. Not only did you tour sports venues all around the world, but the Nice Airport and the Sydney Opera House. What were you looking for? What kind of inspiration from those locations, and what did you incorporate here?
Well, our Cowboys have such visibility, and the NFL has such visibility today, and we did want it to have some architectural significance. The glass, many of the things that are incorporated in airports are incorporated in other stadiums around the world, Wembley, for instance.
Right.
But really, at the end of the day, we wanted to transcend to some degree, taking the snap, making the tackle, and have it reflect some of the other things, art or architect.
Let's talk about timing. This stadium is opening as we are in the midst of a recession. Some people say we're coming out of it. Others are still hurting, let's face it. And when you look at this price tag, you could have done it, as you said, different ways. You could have refurbished the old Texas Stadium. You could have built a stadium for $500 million, but you'd spent $1.12 billion. And some people say that money should be spent in a different way in these times. How do you respond to that?
Well, first of all, I'm so sensitive, and we all are sensitive to the times that we're in. But at the end of the day, the way we're going to get out of this is to sell our way out of it. The NFL is arguably...
So this is a stimulus package in some ways?
In a way. Obviously, it brought great economic benefit to this region, just the building of it. But that's small in comparison to the businesses, the services that are going to want people to be aware of them. Advertising is what I'm talking about.
Right.
The NFL is the leading place to do that for the decision makers. And this stadium says, boy, we believe in the future of the NFL, but we believe in the future of this country, and we believe the way to go get it is to sell our way out of it.
And real quickly, if the Cowboys take to the field here and stink up the joint, that's not going to be good in a brand new stadium like this, is it?
Well, you know, this would be a great business if you didn't have to play those football games.
Yeah, exactly right. That's true. Jerry, congratulations.
Great to be
Thanks
with
for
you,
your
man.
hospitality. We appreciate it. We're going to have much more ahead from Cowboy Stadium, including a tour of this place from one of the Cowboys' all-time greats, Emmitt Smith, and more from New York as well. But first, this is Today on NBC.
7:30 on this Friday morning, September 18th, 2009. And these women you see need no introduction. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Matt and Al are going to catch up with them, I'm sure, a little later as they show us more of this magnificent stadium. I'm Meredith Vieira, back in New York. Matt Lauer is at Cowboy Stadium. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Meredith, I'm in the inner sanctum. Check it out. This is the Cowboys players' locker room. One of the most impressive places I've ever seen. I mean, it really is. They've done this place from soup to nuts. The shower room, which is just behind here, is as big as my whole apartment in New York. You've been in a lot of players' locker rooms, Meredith. How does this one compare to you?
Oh, you're such a wise guy. It's very impressive, actually, Matt, but I have to ask, when I hear all the figures, you know, more than $1 billion, 3 million square feet, how in the world do they get that place ready for a game?
Well, it's not easy, as a matter of fact. You know, this is a huge, huge facility. On a game day, there will be 10,000 people working here at Cowboy Stadium. All the concession people, all the people, the electricians, the security people, 10,000 people on a game day just to get this place up and running, Meredith. By the way, where I'm walking right now, this is the exact path. The players come out of the locker room where I was a second ago. During the game and during halftime, they walk down this hallway when they're taking the field and leaving the field.
Yeah, I'm sure you're walking towards the cheerleaders, actually. But as you walk around, are you...
Who just happened to be on the field.
Yeah, isn't that a coincidence? Are you aware, Matt, as you walk around, of just the sheer cost of it all?
Yeah, it's hard to say that you can ignore that. Here's a statistic for you, Meredith, and listen to this because it's kind of amazing. Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys used to play, they played there for 35 years. It cost, when they built it, $35 million. And that seemed like a lot of money at the time. The HD monitor here that we showed you a second ago cost $42 million. So just the monitor here costs more than the old Texas Stadium to build. And by the way, now I have joined Al, and we are in a club, one of these great clubs that is on the field. Fans can come in here and they drink and they can eat.
They eat, and then when it's game time for the game to start, the players actually come through here. People can high five the players.
Hold on a second.
Like that.
Come on.
Yeah. And I like
would probably be a kicker.
They bring their own atmosphere with them. I mean, this is great.
Is this always like this?
Yeah, it's constantly. They have constant fog. It's unbelievable.
Is there a problem here we should know about?
That's right.
It's actually pretty impressive.
They do serve chili here.
Oh,
that'll clear some of the fog out of here, no question. You knew there'd be a chili joke, Meredith, somewhere.
Yeah, no, I know.
Anyway, we're going to show you around. We're going to show you around a little bit more in a couple of minutes. As I mentioned before, legendary player Emmitt Smith will take me on a tour of this facility coming up.
All right, guys, we're going to see you in a few minutes, but we're going to begin by talking about a very serious issue here, workplace violence. We'll talk with two experts in just a moment.
We got a new home. It's a one-of-a-kind, big old dome. We're wired up, fired up, ready to rock. Everybody doing the Cowboy stone.
And welcome back to the new Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Originally, they estimated the cost of building this place would be about $650 million. But if you've ever built a house, you know that never works out. Quickly, the price tag ballooned to $1.12 billion, making it one of the most expensive sports venues ever built. As the saying goes, everything is bigger in Texas. And for the new Cowboy Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, that saying has never been more true. At 3 million square feet, this spectacular new home to the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most illustrious franchises in sports, has been nicknamed the 8th wonder of the world. And at a price tag of $1.12 billion, it has the best and biggest of everything.
It's awesome. It's clean, it's big. It's like the Neiman Marcus of football stadiums.
We've been to the old stadium before, and it's just really, really tiny compared to this one.
I can't even describe it. It's huge.
Who better to show me around than former Dallas Cowboys great and future Hall of Famer, Emmitt Smith. So, Emmitt, as a player, one of the greats of the game who spent a lot of years here in Dallas, just give me your initial reaction when you walk into this new stadium.
I'm like, wow. If you're a player and you cannot get fired up to play at this venue, on this stage, you don't deserve to be on the Dallas Cowboys or the National Football League.
So there are 300 luxury boxes in this stadium, and they're in all different levels. I think the ones that are going to get the most attention, Emmitt, are these right here. They are right on the field. From a player's point of view, is that distracting? You're right there.
It can be a little distracting, but as a player, we've always been taught to ignore everything that's in the stands.
They're eating steak and they're having beers in there, and you're getting yelled at by your coach right here.
Hey, it is what it is.
And if the field level suites don't bring you close enough to the action, maybe you should check out the Field Club, where players can actually high-five you as they take the field. Players suited up, ready for the game, they come down this tunnel, and Emmitt, they walk through crowds of people here. They come right through the middle of the fans to enter the field.
This is a way for the Dallas Cowboys to give their fans something unique.
Also unique, the 2,300-inch high-def monitor that hangs just 90 feet above the field. It's the largest in the world and will guarantee that fans will always be able to see highlights of their favorite team. You're a legend in pro football, future Hall of Famer. Do you mind if we watch a couple of highlights together?
Sure, why not?
All right, good. Roll the highlights.
This is Today. with Matt Lauer and Meredith Vieira. Live
man,
from Studio 1A in
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, whoa, Emmitt. This is living.
Any given Sunday, baby.
On any given Sunday, there could be more fans here than in any other NFL stadium in the country. There are about 80,000 seats in this stadium, but they're mounted on sliding rails. If they want, they can take the armrests in between the chairs out, squeeze them closer together, and get up to 100,000 seats in here. While filling those seats will be easy, feeding them could be another story. But here, they've covered that too. Dallas fans love their football, and they also love to eat. So how do you feed them? 824 concession stands. Stands that feature everything from Kobe burgers to chili dogs. And of course, beer. So the game's exciting, but you've been eating and drinking from all those concession stands, and you gotta go. At the new Cowboy Stadium, it's not a problem. 1,700 toilets, no waiting. It all fits under a roof soaring 300 feet in the air, supported by two massive arches. It's so high it could actually fit the Statue of Liberty base to torch.
Welcome to the top. I'm gonna allow you the opportunity to open the roof.
You're going to let a Giant fan open the roof at Cowboy Stadium? The roof opens at the touch of a button. All right, are you ready? Exposing a cutout that was designed, they say, so that even God has a good view of his favorite team. Splitting right in the middle. Yes, it is. How cool is that? I'm opening the roof at Cowboy Stadium. With the roof, the field, and one of football's greatest wide open, I saw my opportunity and seized it. Right over the middle.
Okay, down
right over the middle. Go!
I'm not going real fast.
Go, Emmitt. He could go all the way. And he will right into the Hall of Fame. This is one of those luxury boxes. You want to get it for the season, $200,000. You want to buy it outright, $2 million. We'll show you more around here, and we'll check in with the world-famous Cowboy cheerleaders. But first, these messages.
Well,